Hey everybody, Tom here from PC Gamer, and I'm here to talk to you about Heroes of the Storm. So this is Blizzard's new MOBA, lane pusher, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of debate. But I'm here to talk about the 5 big things you should know if you're coming from a different game similar to this and you want to know what this is all about. So the first big one is the maps. First off, the maps are smaller, and also there are multiple of them, and they're all very different. They have these different objectives around them. You know, one of them you have to capture these points that will send a laser beam to siege your opponent's towers. Another one of them you have to collect coins or skulls for different objectives within it. The skull map will summon this big golem that will come out of the ground and push for you depending on how many skulls you got. It's stronger or weaker. And it makes the game much more team-focused and much more objective-focused, which is really important to kind of the pace and the strategy of it. It makes the game a lot about capturing areas with your team and these big team fights around objectives rather than farming. Additionally, since the maps are so much smaller, every character just has a mount. They can just press a button and they'll get this movement speed boost after a few seconds of channeling, and they get to run around the map. The next big thing is team leveling. Your entire team shares a level. You share experience every time you get a kill or every time you're near minions that die. Your whole team will gather that. And once again, it puts the focus not on an individual but on the team, because when you hit level 10, which is when you get your ultimate ability, the team needs to be ready to fight because everyone on your team is level 10. And if your team is level 10 and their team is level 9, then you immediately have a big advantage in the fight. The next thing is talents, and this is a thing that a lot of people misunderstand about Heroes of the Storm. They think, oh, you know, there's no skill leveling up, and there's no items that you can buy, and there's no last hitting, so there's no gold. That means it's way less strategic. But really what it is the talents have all of that. It's just much easier to understand. Each time you hit a certain level, you get a new talent, and you have 4 or 5 options each time you get a talent, depending on what level you just hit. And those talents will level up your skills, and they will change your skills, and they will even in some cases give you activatable abilities in the same way items do. Like, there are no ward items to buy, but there is a talent for some heroes that is place a ward, basically. So the talents give you options in the same way that those items do, but unlike in League of Legends, where you're a support character and 80% of the items available in the store are irrelevant to you, this way gives you a condensed version of what is relevant and what do you want to choose right now. And then you have to be very strategic about, okay, so I've chosen this talent already, so now I want this talent. The next important thing is mercenary camps, and this also goes into how you win and how you siege, because towers actually have ammo, and there are gates blocking in between the towers, so you can't even go into your opponent's territory until you've destroyed the gate, until you've destroyed the towers. And abilities will work on towers, so sieging is a much bigger part of it. There are champions that are just designed with their abilities to siege like that. And mercenary camps play into this. Since the game is objective focused, there's no jungle because there's no last hitting. You know, you're not going to be farming the jungle creeps or anything like that. The mercenary camps are neutral minions that when you kill them, a little circle of power appears and you stand in it, and then you've claimed those mercenaries and they start walking down a lane and dealing damage. And they're basically like these super big minions that just tank damage and tear down towers. And it encourages your team to be proactive about mercenary camps, and it also encourages your team to really stick together and be like, okay, we're going to get this mercenary camp, and then we're going to go around here. It is a huge part of the strategy of both continuing to win and also pulling back in a game is how you can utilize mercenary camps and, like, force your opponent out of position with them. The last big thing is actually out of the game itself. It's how your account and your hero levels up. The key thing about heroes is that each individual hero has its own experience bar for your account and levels up on its own. And you don't unlock all of the talents of a specific hero until you get that hero to level 4. It actually is really nice because it means that you are slowly introduced to the talents of a hero and you aren't just kind of overwhelmed with all these choices. You can get a few choices each time you level them up, and then you have different options and you get to weigh the benefits and costs of each. As you level up a hero more, you get skin variations for them, you get variations on your mount for them. It's actually a pretty cool system. So those are the main big 5 things that I think are different about Heroes of the Storm compared to other MOBAs. if you will, unless you consider that a dirty word. Thanks very much for watching. I hope to cover Heroes of the Storm more. It's definitely early still in its closed beta, but I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I think it has a lot of potential to get better. Thanks very much.